Hello, I'm Attorney Jeff Robinette. I'm here to discuss with you your legal rights with regard to claims that involve exposure to carbon monoxide gas. Let's quickly discuss some basic facts about carbon monoxide gas. It's also known as CO gas. And CO gas, or carbon monoxide gas, is colorless and odorless. And that's why it's called the silent killer. In the United States, there are over 20,000 episodes of carbon monoxide exposure. About 400 people a year, on average, die of carbon monoxide exposure. Where does carbon monoxide come from? Carbon monoxide comes from the byproduct of burning fossil fuels. And so if you have a home that has a gas furnace, for instance, you will be producing carbon monoxide in your home. Some more rural areas will have LP gas, or even fuel oil will also produce carbon monoxide emissions. Also, you need to be careful about carbon monoxide if you have a gas-fired water heater in your home. Some people like to have an outside generator, and you have to be careful to make sure that the generator does not produce emissions in or around windows, and especially not in the home. Let's talk about safety precautions in your home. As a homeowner, you should ensure that you have good working safety detectors, carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Look on the back of your carbon monoxide detector and ensure that it has the warranty period that is still in service. Also look to see if there is a universal underwriter's stamp of approval on the monitor to ensure that it has met at least the minimum requirements of a safe mechanism for your home. You also should have a safety person look at your furnace and hot water heater from time to time to make sure that it is safely operating. Foremost, you should have a test done at the same time by your heating and ventilation expert or technician to ensure that there are no leaks in the furnace. Finally, I'd like to discuss with you your legal rights with regard to exposure to carbon monoxide gas. Your legal rights against others will depend upon the one of several different mechanisms by which the carbon monoxide exposure occurs. First of all, it is unlikely that there will be a carbon monoxide exposure in a new home. This is true because the more recent building standards require hardwired as well as battery-operated carbon monoxide detectors in all levels of a home. This baseline defense against exposure is important to ensure that your whole household is safe from these types of exposures. The next, more often, type of exposure occurs in tenant houses or leased houses that are of some age. And these occur because the landlord fails to keep the furnace and the other appliances that operate off of fuel oil in the safest possible condition. And because carbon monoxide is a silent killer, most of the time the detection of the leaks often occur when people are discovered unconscious or already have passed away. And then finally, the third mechanism of exposure occurs in rural areas where houses are not built according to code and there's been no updates in the safety features of the home. In those situations, the homeowner himself should take extra precaution to make sure that operational and functional carbon monoxide detectors are in service. Who's to blame for exposures in carbon monoxide cases? Many of the times it's due to the landlord failing to ensure that there's a safe place to abide for his tenants. In other instances, it can be the actual heating ventilation technician who fails to do his job by ensuring that the furnace or hot water heater or other type of fuel burning furnace is properly tested and certified for operation. And so if you are in one of those situations where you or a family member has been exposed to carbon monoxide gas, please call our office to discuss your case. I've handled several of these cases that involve death as well as very severe injuries. And so we would like to discuss with you your legal rights, and we wish you the best. Thank you.